Hey everyone, it's me, Jacob. I was just getting on to do another video here. I know it's been a long time, and I know I said in my other video that I was gonna keep doing this, basically, and I meant it. I meant it, but basically, it's been like a learning period for me. I've gone through a number of things that have they taught me a lot. They've taught me a lot. Um, Today I just want to talk about the value of an upright heart. And we're going to cover a number of things um, in that, but I'm going to try to keep it short so the video is digestible. Anyway, let's just get right into it. And I guess I'll just start saying it right out. The value of an upright heart is more valuable than all the treasures of the earth and within the earth and upon the earth. There is nothing in all the earth that can compare to it. I feel like I'm trying to say this in a specific way and I'm just failing at that. But bear with me here. So what I mean is that I mean exactly what I said. There's nothing in the earth that can compare to the value of an upright heart. Because who decides value? God decides value. Um, there's we might think we decide value. Oh, world markets or your country's economics, wherever you're watching from. I don't really care where you're watching from. Every country has an economy, and that economy, as well as the world economy, decides the value of things among those nations, but even the nations themselves are nothing. The things of the world are dust. They're dust. And all the things people do to gain more money, more wealth, more power, more influence, more of anything that is of the world is really just done to satisfy their lust for dust. All right. How much, what is the value of honor? Right? How much in gold, or what is the value of integrity in gold? Who among us can sell it to you? None. Not anyone. Truly, I tell you, truly. The people who sacrifice their honor, their integrity, their character, their dignity, anything, any good thing of the Spirit, they sacrifice the priceless for the worthless. And that's the bottom line of it. That's the bottom line of it. Because the things of the Spirit, the things that make an upright heart, the characteristics of an upright heart, those are priceless and they cannot be bought. They can't. They just can't be bought. There's no way for anyone to buy them, and they can't be sold. There's no way for anyone to sell them. And they can't be, the things of the spirit, they can't be diminished. They can never be diminished except by one's own hand. All right? It's the only way. You can throw them away, sacrifice them for the worthless things of the world. You can, hide them. You know, basically what you're doing when you sacrifice your dignity or your integrity or your honor or any good or any characteristic of a good and upright heart, when you sacrifice them or when you throw them away, because a sacrifice, that's usually done for something, but they can also be thrown away, also done only by your own hand. You diminish yourself. And I'm not just like out here saying like, oh, it's only you. It's me too. If I were to do it, it's the same. It's the same for all of us, okay? I'm not perfect. I never claimed to be perfect. There's never been a perfect human being other than Jesus Christ. But other than Jesus Christ, not one person has ever been perfect. And that's true. That's the truth. I know. I'm sorry for the pause. I know that living in the world is not easy. Okay? I know there are myriad temptations. And even if you stand strong against all those temptations, there are still other things that will make it seem like it's the right choice to sacrifice your dignity or your honor or your integrity to diminish your character. I know. Look, you might want to take care of your child, for example. The love a parent has for their child, it's a precious thing. It's a precious thing. And I know that a loving parent would do anything for their child. And those, the needs of your child, the things that you want for them, want to do for them, um, the world will always make you pay for it. The greed of men and women, when I say men in my videos, I don't mean just males. I mean mankind, humankind, all of humanity. But the world will make you pay for it in something worldly, but not only always in something worldly, right? There's, I mean, pretty much in every century of human history, there's been people that demand what amounts to a spiritual sacrifice for some worldly gain. For example, in recent days, recent years or whatever, um, we've seen, like news stories and all these publications about people, usually it's basically been like, at least as, I mean, I'm not saying it's only limited to this, but like Hollywood basically offering fame and fortune for compliance for certain types of favors, or just blatantly iniquitous acts. All right. And there have been many people who have paid that price. They have sacrificed what was priceless for what was worthless. And, finding finding your integrity again, finding your honor again, you know, it's like finding a specific grain of sand on a seashore. You know, it's even harder than a needle in a haystack. Haystack is much more limited, and there's only so many strands of hay in a haystack. Much less strands of hay in a haystack than there are grains of sand on the beach, even a small beach. All right. It's just, and I'm not condemning anybody. Okay. Let me be perfectly clear. I'm not condemning anyone. All right. Like I said, I'm not perfect. None of us are perfect. All right. I'm not here to call anybody out, name any names, nothing like that. I'm just using this as an example to explain what I'm trying to say. There's a there's a lot of situations that can arise in life that might cause you to want to take the easy way out. And I can't condemn someone for wanting to do for wanting to do something that was right and just, like, say, pay for their child's treatment when they are terminally ill, right? It's another example. Again, I'm not calling anybody out, but, and I know there's a lot of parents that would willingly pay that price, right? If it meant their child would get well again. But there's no guarantee that their child would get well. Um, hard for me to say, really, like, because I don't have unlimited wisdom, all right? Like, the Lord has blessed me with wisdom. Like, he would bless everyone. He blesses everyone with wisdom. Jesus even said, "He who lacks wisdom should ask the Lord, who gives generously to all without finding fault." You just have to you just have to believe, truly believe, and ask Jesus to, or ask in the name of Jesus that he plead your case to the Father Almighty. And he will. He will. And God allows all of our trials, right? All the trials we face in life, they are allowed by God, okay? But not for cruelty, all right? Not for malice, not for hatred, but for love. And before you get upset about that, right, let me explain. Because God created everything, including us, right? But because we chose to eat the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil, it was a choice we made, regardless of the temptation, all right? Regardless of any external influence, right? In the end, the giving in to a temptation is a choice that we make, okay? We make it. That is the price of free will, is that we make our choices and we are responsible for the consequences of those choices. And there is no other way to have free will. All right? But because we made the choice to, eat the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil is the choice to it's basically, or it is the choice to have true wisdom, to be able to have true wisdom, okay? And because we made that choice, because we wanted that wisdom, we have to walk the line. There's no other way. There's no other way. Otherwise, how, as creatures created innocent, right? Why would God inflict all of this upon us innately? He didn't. We chose it of our own free will because we wanted to have true wisdom. We did not want to be like the animals. All right? We wanted to become all that we could be. We wanted to ascend to our true incarnations, our true selves, our true potential. We wanted to reach our true potential. And in order to do that, because we were made in the image, in the likeness of God, right? We had the potential, we have the potential to gain that, like, the wisdom that God has. I'm not saying we have the potential to become as God. I'm not saying that, and I don't know what the limit of our potential is. Okay? If there is a limit, I don't know. Okay? I'm not claiming that. What I'm saying is we made the choice because we wanted that wisdom. We wanted greater wisdom. We wanted to reach our true potential. And in order to be able to truly attain that, then we have to walk the line. Because we have to master ourselves before we can master either good or evil. Either one. Or both. Right? But before any mastery of either of them can be attained by any person, we must master ourselves. Okay? And God is our Father, the Father of all things. And because we made our choice, and He honors His gift of free will to us, He allowed us to make our choice. And when we made our choice, He chose to guide us. And in order to guide us and bring us to our true potential, to bring us into what we wanted, to give us what we wanted, right? He has to allow our trials. Okay? Now, I recently prayed, because I've been going through a lot of things, and I recently prayed that God would stop the enemy and not let him tempt me anymore, not let him try to corrupt my thoughts or my heart or my spirit or my soul. And shortly after that, I learned yet another lesson. And that is to ask for that is to ask for God to block my blessings, or your blessings, anybody's blessings, right? Because we need the trials, we need the temptation, we need the challenges, we need the tribulation. We need to be tried in the fire. Because it's only in the fire that we can truly be forged into what we're supposed to be, or into what we wanted. Us, ourselves, at our true potential, right? At our highest potential. And so I prayed again. And I asked God to forgive that prayer and to allow whatever trials or challenges or tribulations or temptations that were in his will to allow for me. And it was hard. All right, it was hard because I've been at my limit for a long time. The Lord hath blessed me, for he hath humbled me. And in my humility I have gained true wisdom. I know it's not easy to see that from, when you're stuck in the ways of the world. You say things like, well, I can't do that. I can't give up on this or that. I need to pay my bills. I need to do this. Really, all we need to do is trust God, right? Of course, we have to live our lives. I'm not saying give up on paying your bills, quit your job. I'm not saying any of that, okay? I'm saying if your job is a trial for you, if it's hard for you to get up and go to work every day, then seek God. Really seek God in everything, right? But let's just stick to this one example here. Seek God. Every morning you have to get up for work, on your lunch breaks, all the time during work, right? Keep your mind on God. Keep your eyes on God. And you will find wisdom. You will be taught wisdom. You will be sustained and uplifted even in the darkest times. It's just the truth. And when you gain that wisdom, then you are in a position to overcome, right? Gaining that wisdom is not overcoming yourself. It's just one step toward it. After you gain that wisdom, then you will be able to be aware of your heart posture for that specific thing, right? So like going to work, right? And you'll be able to see and understand how your heart posture, how your heart how everything flows from your heart, or really from your soul. So your soul speaks to the heart, and the heart speaks to the mind, and the mind speaks to the body. Okay? And when you seek God, God speaks to your soul. Your soul speaks to your heart. Okay? God himself speaks to your heart. God himself will speak to your mind. But God will never force you to do anything. Okay? Because he honors his gift of free will that he has given us. We would not be what we are without it. Okay? We would not be humans without free will. Okay? And that brings me to the last point of this video, which is kind of circling back to the first point. You know, when we trade, or not really trade, but sacrifice the things of the spirit for the things of the world, we trade or sacrifice the priceless for the worthless. And in that sacrifice, in that trade, we enslave ourselves to the world. We enslave ourselves to the things of the world, the people of the world itself, all the worldly things, and we diminish ourselves. We lower ourselves. And it's just not worth it. In the end, it's not worth it. Because when you're old and gray, when I'm old and gray, when anybody's old and gray, right? And they're on their deathbed, you think their bank account matters to them? No. No, it doesn't. In their final moments of life, their bank account doesn't mean anything. The only thing that means anything to them is their next breath. Okay? And not all the money in the world, not all the wealth, influence, power, nothing in the world can give you even one more breath. Only God could do that. Only God holds life in his hand. Death is something we all have to face because we can't overcome ourselves until we can overcome everything that is of the world. Fear is of the world. The fear of death is of the world. Death is of the world. Okay? And I'm not talking about just resignation to death. I'm talking about true peace even in death, even while dying. Right? Resignation is surrender. We don't surrender to death. Right? Surrender to God, and you will be given the peace that surpasses all understanding, and not even death can disturb it. Anyway, that's enough for this video. I know I went on a lot longer than I thought I was gonna, and that's mostly because I'm just, you know, I'm just trying to make this video because I'm trying to obey the Lord. Okay. And it's just time. He he told me it's time. All right. And so I'll be making more videos. I'm gonna try to keep the videos to like 10 minutes ish, maybe 15 minutes ish, at most, just to make them more digestible. And I'm sorry, this one would it go on for 34 minutes, almost 35 minutes. But anyway, I just want to let you guys know that, you know, I love you all. I love you all. Because I love God and I love what God loves. And so I love you all. Truly. Anyway, I hope you all have a blessed day. God bless.